back to another episode of the Truth and Transparency Podcast with your host, Brother X, and listeners. Culture Scientist is where is she this week? She is studying the new episode of Law and Order SVU, so she'll be back next week or the next episode. But it's not just me here. You know, you love him. Gotta show love to my co-host. He's basically my second co-host, Mr. Smith. Introduce yourself.
The question is, when she watching that episode and she come back, are you coming back?
Listeners, if you just hear her introduce the episode, just know she did it. We have record proof of this right now. So no. But here in the
Oh, it wasn't
right.
it.
My bad. She's not here right now. She got us out of the flow of things, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. But it's your favorite fan, Mr. Smith, also known as the Soundbite Poppy, also known as Mr. And I want to thank the listeners for the comments, the plays, and subscriptions. Keep feeding us, and we'll keep feeding y'all. Number one, shout out to Cat Culture Podcast for always showing us love and support. Number two, to the I'm gonna call him a boy because that's what he is. The boy last episode that drank Everclear straight decided to double back and said, "Hey guys, I did some research, and it turns out that you need to chase the Everclear with water." What? Let me make sure I repeat that again. He said he is chasing Everclear with water. Oh hell no! You didn't do no research, my guy, because anybody would have told you that's a stupid idea, and it burned the way in, it burned the way out, and you stupid people play stupid games and get stupid prices. So I hope it was worth the clicks. And then lastly, I'm a little, you might hear me a little bit. I'm a little bit under the weather right now, but with today's topic, there is only one clear winner. And that's J. Cole, because J. Cole saw this thing a mile away.
Hey, fuck exactly. Cole World, he did nothing wrong. I stand by it. I'm going to get the new version's coming out. J. Cole was right. I'm not sorry for anything.
Look, I'm sorry. This man Smooth was like this. I'm sorry. I'm gonna read a tweet that somebody read that set out. This was set on May 4th. He said, "Brother, I am sorry for doubting your reasons for backing out at J. Cole NC." And the person responded, "That man ran every simulation like Doctor Strange and Infinity War and said, nope."
Dog, he was like, "Dog, I'm just going ahead and get my bike. I'm gonna roll out. I'm gonna check on y'all like 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep riding my bike somewhere. Nigga out here on the beach making music."
And
like a SoundCloud rapper.
And see, the way they was just like, "Cole, come on, man, do it for hip hop." And he said, "I know these niggas, y'all don't." And I'm just sitting there thinking, now you look back at his statement where he's like, "I didn't get to sleep peacefully at night." I understand now. We will talk about this a little bit more later, listeners, but whew, it was bad.
Protect your motherfucking peace and protect your neck. Like my nigga, he looked both ways across the street. It was like, yeah, nah, this ain't nah. But if I would be remiss if I didn't give you a breakdown. This is the Truth and Transparency Podcast where we talk openly and honestly about why people can't get right in 2024 and why people just need to leave family alone and just stop fucking with Kendrick Lamar. Let's put that out there right now. Stop fucking with Kendrick Lamar. Let him give us our albums every 5 years and we gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, we're actually going to go ahead and get into our first segment, which is our mental health check. We're going to go ahead and start with Mr. Smith. How are you doing?
I've been hit by the under the weather bug again. Sucks, but I'm taking all the black remedies, drink some ginger ale, have some soup, some crackers. I messed up the first day. I put on Wheel of Fortune, but I made up for it yesterday and put on The Price is Right, and I laid down. That's the most important thing. And yes,
you better lay your ass down.
Yes, I literally went, I'm a go lay down. Yeah. So I had the right ginger ale, the right soup, chicken noodle. I had Campbell's, I had some Chunkies, and put on The Price is Right, did my work. And it's funny because some of the people at work was like, "Dude, you're still cranking this stuff out and you're sick." I'm like, that's because I'm him. So don't.
I am Hennessey. I am him Jones, him Duncan. Niggas, y'all is beneath me. You wish it was him.
So when you come back and you tell me, "Oh, Mr. Smith didn't do this, Mr. Smith didn't do that," check the Carfax, my nigga. So I'm gonna say on that. But yeah,
Nigga
no.
putting up triple doubles while sick. Man, fuck a flu game.
But no, overall, I'm just same old, going through, knocking off this wedding stuff one by one, paying things off. So looking forward to next year, man.
That's what's up, man. I about to say for myself, I'm just taking things day by day. Just make sure I support the culture scientist, making sure she drink her water, eat her food, take her naps, go for her walks, all the things. But for me, I'm in an interesting space, man. For some, the school year is winding down, and but for me, I'm like, I got at least another month and a half because I don't finish until the end of June. But part of it is just like there are some kids where I'm like, dog, I promise you, I'm gonna put you through a wall. Like I smooth, like I'm gonna put you through a wall. And then there's some parents, so I'm like, parents, if you do not put your kid through a wall, I'm gonna kick them through a wall. Like let's make this very clear. Cause and we'll get into one of the stories that we're gonna talk about later, but it's like, if you want me to do my job, let me do my job. But prepare your employee, your child to be ready to help me do my job. Because otherwise, we wasted everybody's time and I'm basically babysitting your kid for 8 hours of the day. But there's other parts that I get to, but I'll save that for later. But yeah, before we go any further, funny enough, I know summertime's rolling around and summer drinks and other things are very interesting, but listeners, I need you to listen to this first drink because this ain't nothing but about Section 8 and bad decisions this summer. Mrs. Smith, play the clip.
Called pregnancy. Matter of fact, if you don't like it, hit that follow button. You getting pregnant. Summer 2024. Even if you a guy, that ugly girl you be hitting is getting pregnant during the summertime.
So, listeners, you heard it, but let me break this down to you. He first pours into the highball glass, a little bit over a shot, or maybe right around a shot of Taylor Port's. Is that wine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Taylor Port wine, which is low bottom tier wine that you could buy at the gas station. Then you had Alizé. For our younger listeners, Alizé is it is a time travel machine because that shit is old school. When was the last time you had some Alizé, Mr. Smith?
College.
Oh. Yeah, that was before Obama was elected. So yeah, that was a while ago.
Listeners, you didn't hear that. I almost spit up my ginger ale at this nigga.
Oh my I'm glad we could actually say that now.
Oh my God. I was not okay. 5 points. That was a good one. Okay. You got me on that one.
So
but no, you flipped it. You said Taylor Port was first, then it was Hypnotic.
Oh, Hypnotic. I'm sorry. That is that's another God, dog. Hypnotic, Alizé, and Teleport. Like this is some drunk uncle's drink.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
What Brother Ace was getting ready to say, and I'll take it from here. This man made the drink, and don't get me wrong, listeners, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm probably gonna try to make the drink this summer because but and for the record, let's be clear, I'm not trying to get Teacher Bay pregnant, at least not until after the wedding. So let's go ahead.
Talking about when y'all go off for y'all little moment together. It's gonna turn into 5 minutes. It's gonna be like two niggas dapping in two dolphins clapping in the ocean.
Nigga! Two dolphins. 30-second timeout. Shut up. But the fact that this man put these drinks together, put some ice in it, put a translucent straw, and on the straw, or the straw is poking through a Magnum condom. Sir, my question is, why did it have to go through the condom? You are, like you just said, oh, this is promoting pregnancy. I bet it is, with the fact that condom, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna use the same condom I'm gonna drink out of. Well, duh, it has a hole in it. So you know what? Hey, Pampers are $30.
Like nigga, you better get admitted into a certain university in Washington D.C. that big as that hole is, man.
Ooh. Oh, I don't know if you've been drinking or what, but you on one right now.
I ain't got shit else to do. I'm on break right now.
Oh God.
uh, but yes, listen, it's quite wild. But you know what else is wild? Getting Hennessey foot massages or leg massages. Mrs. Smith, play the clip.
The most luxurious mani-pedi in Atlanta. We love the champagne pedicure. It comes with a Hennessey massage for blood circulation. And so many more surprises like 24 karat gold and candle wax. We definitely felt like queens after the drinks and snacks they brought us and our French chrome nails. Definitely check them out in Buckhead.
Listeners, first and foremost, this is in Buckhead, Georgia. And yeah, first thing that sticks out of mind is, where's the white folk from?
Well,
but yeah. So as it's explained, it is a champagne pedicure at Buckhead Signature Nails, where they have Hennessey massages, 24K gold. I don't even know what to call it. Golden wrappers. Probably got the same golden wrappers as the magnets from the last thing. Gel for their feet, looking like a certain thing. Mr. Smith might talk about it later. But yeah, it's real interesting. My question is, you gonna let Teacher Bay go there?
I mean, if she want to get that kind of treatment and it's not priced expensively, then sure. But knowing Teacher Bay, she's gonna look at the prices and be like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm just gonna go to the left." Like, because it's funny enough, when Teacher Bay and Queen C came up for their birthday, I treated them to massages at the place that me and Teacher Bay went for. I think it was my birthday. It was either might have been, yeah, I think it was my birthday. But like, it was cool, but sure, we could use that stuff. But the thing I love about Teacher Bay is she's very practical. So she tends to be like, why put this money here? Well, we could do that and put it to something that actually has a good investment. I'm like, that's why I love you, because you understand. So shout out to Teacher Bay. Love you, baby.
But yeah, at least she ain't trying to have her feet look like strip balls.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, if listeners, this post will be in the show notes, but the fact that her feet look like a damn seafood boil from Hook and Reel, I was like, ma'am, is that Cajun or is that Hook and Reel special blend? Is that fire or is that spicy? Like, what we doing here?
I mean, that's probably baby spice. White folk can't
Hey,
spice.
yo, I'm weak. I'm weak. Nope.
Like, all you got in there is salt and pepper. maybe a little oregano.
A little paprika, a little bit of paprika.
Yeah, just a little bit of paprika.
Gotcha.
But you know what isn't small? Mr. Smith Sports Center, play the music.
Okay, so a lot happened and a lot didn't happen, but we'll just hit up some of the key points. So we'll start with the WNBA, and number one, the Las Vegas Aces got their rings, and them shits look nice. I'm like, I am so appreciative of the fact that we are finally living in that era where the women's sports is getting recognized, because like we said in the previous episode, listeners, they be balling. Like, all these people that's in the comments or whatever that likes to, always get on about women's sports saying, "Oh, I could take care of them." Y'all really can't. They would dog walk you to no avail. You don't understand how much they train, as hard, if not harder, than the guys sometimes. Now, yes, the guys do have natural athletic ability where they can jump higher and bang in the paint, but I dare one of y'all to say, "Oh, I could take on Aja Wilson." Like, nigga, she would drop 20 and 10 on you immediately.
Hey, I'ma climb that tree.
Hey, yo.
I'ma climb that tree.
I'm not doing this with you.
Also,
But
proceed. I'm gonna go back to the corner.
so then Camila Cardozo and Angel Reese are adjusting well to the WNBA so far. It's funny because Angel Reese ended up going to the Met Gala in the same weekend that she went up against the New York Liberty. And so of course, a lot of people were kind of like, oh, you know, Angel, you need to be focused on the game and not all these extra distractions, blah 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 blah, right? And Angel's like, why can't we do both? And I have to say, I agree with her because the same exact way LeBron can go to movie premieres and commercials and all that, and this nigga still be dropping 25 and 10 or 32 and 9. Like, what's stopping him from that? The same way that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Shet have that. I forgot what commercial it's for. First of all, Shet, dog, you got swag in that commercial. Like, I was like, who is this man?
He been around. He been around a few white folks. Yeah, he ain't back in Gonzaga anymore.
Yeah, like I just what? So but like it's like she if you put in the time and the effort, why can't they do both? Especially if they, like we said, we've unlike the 90s, we have the blueprint of like, hey, time it, have your, have your sleep schedule, have your food schedule, all that. If you are really into that and you're able to do that, like, then go for it, right? Um and let's be clear, I believe it was a preseason game. So it's like, yeah, granted, yes, she is a rookie. So, unlike NBA rookies where like at least the first round is almost guaranteed to be on the team, there are first rounders in WNBA that may not see the regular season. They may not even be on the team. But when you have a high profile person like Angel Reese, I'm pretty sure you're not cutting her unless she's a bust. And she ain't no bust. So shout out to her for really putting in the work and putting up, I think it was like 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, something like that. Like, this is after she really did the Met Gala. So, people, everybody has shown, especially after the pandemic, that we can do multiple things at one time. As Queen C would always say, we are not a monolith. We can do multiple things. And then finally for the WNBA, Caitlin Clark in her first actual regular season game has struggled. And she put up I'll say modest stat line. I think it was like 20 points, or like 5 of 15 shooting, and like 10 turnovers. And I'm saying that to say it's her first freaking game, my guy. Like, I need everybody to take a step back. Yes, she lit up college, but just like the NCAA in football, just like the NCAA and March Madness, both men's and women's, and the NFL and the NBA, and they are all different speeds. You have heard people, we have seen so many people be the best college whatever player, and then it does not translate to the NFL. Is the Anthony Bennett, number one overall pick for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Bust. I don't want to put Greg Oden there because I feel like it's just his knees, because he really was
his ACL need to go on the bus list. His knee is not as this knees.
Right. Like, like there are a lot of people that are college heroes, but their game does not translate to the NBA, and that's okay, right? But everybody, because they have not seen Caitlin Clark, a person like Caitlin Clark, who can shoot lights out from damn near NBA range, they're thinking that there's going to be a seamless transition to WNBA. Well, no, you got vets that know how to, that can study the game and say, oh, okay, so if you take her left instead of her giving it to her right, if you take her right and she tries to fade to the left, step to like, they study that. They know how to adjust. And you're talking about the best of the best. So there's going to come time where, there are going to be struggles. And so I say that to say, stop putting these GOAT expectations on these players. I don't know what it's been since probably LeBron, and there was one more after LeBron.
KD was up there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, expectations out the gate.
Ben Simmons was for a minute.
Yeah, but I don't think Ben Simmons never really did it for me. Like I saw it because of his prototype, but I
The way
never.
they was talking about him, yeah.
Yeah, but then you like as soon as you saw his first game, you're like, nigga can't shoot. So what are we talking about? Like, yeah, LeBron didn't have a crisp jumper, but he had a jumper. He just didn't use it as much. This nigga got no jumper.
Zion. Zion was another.
Yes, yes.
That's probably the other one.
Yeah. So and and granted, Zion had that because the man bullied. I mean, okay, this is fucked up to say, but it's still funny. That man did culture. That man did reparations for black people by destroying the white kids in high school.
Oh yeah, nah. In South Carolina too? Yeah. Them boys didn't
he
stand a chance.
he bullied. I mean, that high school mixtape was ridiculous. But yeah, so like I need us to stop having these crazy expectations and go back to how we used to look at the NBA in the 80s and the 90s when Jordan, all these great players came in. You let them develop. You let them, get into the flow of the game. And then when they get there, all right, now just love the game. And then you can start saying, oh, okay, like Joker just got his third MVP. Now, me personally, I would have said Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should have got that, but neither here nor there. But like for him to get 3 MVPs and he didn't have a lick of, oh, this man's gonna be the GOAT, blah, blah, whatever. He's got more MVPs than a lot of people's favorite players.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
You ain't never lied.
So I mean, like, let's keep it a buck, right? But honestly, get back to the joy of the game. Stop trying to always, because then as soon as you say, "Oh, they're the GOAT," then that creates an argument. Then that creates a debate, and it's like, is it really worth all that? And maybe it's just me at my ripe age of 36, where it's like, I ain't got time to argue with you. I got other shit to do. So if y'all gonna go through that, whatever.
It's honestly the same thing with Anthony Edwards. Like,
Mhm.
yes, it is fun and cool and hilarious sometimes when people say, yeah, that's Michael Jordan's illegitimate son. And it's like, I see it, but it's also like, dog, just let him play. Because everybody was heaping all that praise, rightfully so, on him when they were up 2-0 against the Denver Nuggets. And then Jokic came back and was like, Rudy Gobert, go ahead, get your ass in the post.
Listen, I am so glad you brought that up. Since we're on the NBA, or we actually are switching over to the NBA. Yeah, as Brother X said, the Timberwolves last time we talked went up 2-0 against the Nuggets. And then Nuggets sat up in their gamer chair and locked in.
I promise you, I ain't never seen Jokic was like, yeah, I'm talking about those. Like, I'm just kind of laissez-faire going through things. It was like, I'm sorry, Rudy Gobert's here? Yeah, nah. Like, I'm glad you had a kid and you left and everything. That's great. I'm happy for you. I'm gonna send you home to your kids real quick.
And I mean, I'm gonna be clear. I want the Timberwolves to win because this is a great team and they have budding stars and a great record. Like I feel like this was their time. But I've always stated beforehand and will continue to state, even if he does well and they actually end up pulling this out of the postseason. Rudy Gobert is a liability, and the Timberwolves should not have gave up that much for that damn trade. There is no way. There is nothing you can tell
Mr.
me.
Smith, he's defensive player of the year.
Yes, and he's an offensive liability.
No, you ain't never lied.
It's great that you can block shots and you can clog the paint. That's great. But this ain't the 90s no more. Hell, this ain't even the early 2000s. You have big men that can shoot now. Case in point, Joker just put up 40 on your head. And I mean, he did it in every way in a masterclass. I'm talking footwork. I'm talking hook shot. I'm talking fall away jumper. I'm talking three-pointer. Like, dog, he put that man in a blender. And to that, I always say, it's weird that everybody always says, oh, well, Rudy Gobert is always going to get Defensive Player of the Year. And I'm like, yes, and he's going to be a liability in the postseason. It always happens. He always gets to the postseason, whether it's with Utah or whether it's with Minnesota, and then he becomes a liability. The thing is, when Joker had his worst matchup, it was against Dwight Howard, and when Dwight Howard was with LA. And the reason why it was worst matchup is because Dwight Howard was the defensive player of the year that Rudy Gobert was, but Dwight Howard also could do stuff on the glass and get points.
Yeah.
He knew how to box out. He knew how to rebound. He knew how to get his points and at least make it so that, all right, if Joker has a problem, now you got to double him. Now he kicks out for the shooters. Or if Joker takes him straight up and he doesn't make it, night, nigga. But I never got into the hype of Rudy Gobert like that. And I'll admit, in the first couple of games, I was like, okay, yeah, that's the thing. You're supposed to put a big man that can move with Joker, force him, make him use up all of his energy. But you also got to know how to adjust. Joker knows how to adjust. Rudy does not. And you saw it last time where now the Nuggets have a 3-2 lead. I'm not going to say that it's curtains right now, but it's looking like it. And if so, Rudy Gobert is your liability. So just going to put that up there. New York and Indy.
Honestly, if they don't get it this year, I feel like it's like that plateau. It's kind of like when Atlanta had that run a few years ago. Where it's like, dog, this team is not going to get any better from where it is right now. You don't have anything in place to be able to get better. Besides the development of Anthony Edwards taking another step, which he's capable of, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to outweigh the Rudy Gobert.
Oh no, it's very simple. Swap Rudy Gobert with Dwight Howard, and you got yourself championship or championship caliber team.
That's a lot of money to get rid of.
It is. Do not get me wrong. It is, and it's gonna hurt. But if you want that championship, I mean, me personally, I feel like Dwight should come back to the Lakers and be the 5, which will push Anthony to the 4, which will push LeBron to the 3. And oh my God, that shit would be sick.
Big things, y'all gotta find a coach, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go there. So the last thing for the NBA is Bronny, of course, has been taking up the media with him doing the NBA draft combine. Dude posted like a 40.5-inch vert, and that shit was sick. So I feel like he's gonna get drafted. I don't know where. I feel like LeBron's gonna wait to see where he gets drafted, and he's gonna hope that the Lakers can like do some type of maneuvering to where they get up within the higher up in the first round, or maybe in the first round, and draft Bronny and go ahead and throw away some of their future just to get him on to finish up LeBron's career. So we'll see. I've heard people say that LeBron probably got 2 more years in him. I'm fine with that because I guarantee you I'm gonna see this nigga before he retire one more time. And then finally the NFL, 2 things. 1, Lamar Jackson came in at 205 coming into training camp. If I am NFL teams, I am scared. Because let me be clear, this man got his second MVP at 215. 215 pounds, and he was making y'all look bad. Now, you're talking about somebody who's getting back to their regular playing weight, has their throwing mechanics tuned up, and has Derrick Henry in the backfield. Now, I'm not the person that's always going to be like, oh, I feel like, we have all the tools and like it's I don't want to be the Cowboys. This is our year. This is our year. This is our year. That's not me. I like to watch and see what happens. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's looking kind of scary for the AFC North. Just putting that out there. And then the last thing is the schedule was actually, as the time of this recording, the schedule was released. Ravens got their first test early, and I mean early. We literally are going to go up against the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, Thursday, September 5th. And I'm going to watch the hell out that game. Let it be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because the main thing I want to see is, yes, everybody going to talk about Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, and defense, blah, 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 whatever. I want to know, how is Hollywood Brown going to do against Marlon Humphrey? That's the thing I got to watch. You got to watch the game within the game. You got to watch the trenches. How is O-V-HOE going to go up against that front offensive line and with our pass rushers? Our linebackers, I'm not too worried about. We have a distinct we picked up a corner in the first round, so I think we're good defensively. I just want to see how we adjust, because let's also remember we're catching Kansas City like first round, rust, all that. So if there was a time to put our foot in their ass, it'd be now. But looking at the schedule, Kansas City, the Raiders, Dallas, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Washington, Tampa Bay, Cleveland, Denver, Cincinnati again, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, Philly, bye week. Ah, damn, the bye week would be in December. Well, looks like you know what? We're gonna be at Cleveland during homecoming. Yeah, I'll just watch. I'll just listen to it on the way home. Um, bye week in December. New York. Ooh, New York Giants. Oh yeah, we killing them niggas. Pittsburgh, Houston, and Cleveland. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the season, and I want to see like, all right, guys, we're there. We're right there. You just gotta take one more leap, one more solid leap. But again, the main thing I'm gonna say throughout the rest of this NFL season, Kansas City is the one to dethrone. I don't care what their record is. The exact same way you look at the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, they might have that record in the regular season, but postseason, yeah, I don't know about that. But anywho, that's all for Mr. Smith Sports Center. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you want to learn more about the NFL, hit up my boy Red Wolf with his YouTube and his Instagram. His links will be in the description below.
Bloody other music. All right, listeners. So we're actually going to go ahead and get into the next segment of the podcast, which is Now Mind You. Now Mind You is a segment of the podcast where we talk about things we found on the internet. We listening to your mama's T.O. on the phone when we're supposed to be in our room asleep, or any other place that we find stories that we find interesting that we want to share with you. And we use the black vernacular of Now Mind You to give you the key and vital information by saying the words Now Mind You to keep you entertained with said stories. So Now Mind You is going to kick it off with, we got a Florida story, but in particular, we have Florida A&M. I know we're going to talk about a certain university that doesn't have enough room for people to have at graduation, but that's beside the point. We can come back to Dog Park University another day. Florida A&M, I need y'all to come to the front. So y'all just don't vet anybody that come to speak. Listeners, if you don't know what I'm referring to, is there's a story that just came out from Florida A&M's commencement where the speaker made a donation in stocks that was valued out to about $237 million. Had a whole check and everything. But the really interesting that came out from the story, maybe not even a week later, where it was found out that apparently, this is a whole scam. Like we talking about top tier. Like he is the Jeff Bezos of scams with the amount of money. Like it is crazy because he basically was like, the donation was done in a whole bunch of stock for the university. But when people went to go look at the stock and look at the information in a little bit more detail, basically it was like, this doesn't exist. Like it's not worth any money. To give you a little bit more details, it was the Isaac Batterson Family Seventh Trust. It was donated in the Batterson Farm Court. And basically, like a lot of like these fancy titles and things, and the president made this whole big thing at the commencement speech talking about it. And in my mind, I'm like, if we who have less money and have less resources can find out that this shit don't mean nothing, like that's like buying Trump bucks. Them shits don't do nothing. It's like buying Usher bucks when you're not in the strip club in Las Vegas. Not that I know anything about that, but yeah. So, Mr. Smith, do you have any thoughts?
Whoever's in the vetting department for them checks, boy, couldn't have been me though.
Exactly.
Because that's gonna be, one, the university is now getting bad publicity, which let's be clear, listeners, everybody that has been a part of this podcast or me, Brother X, whoever, we are obviously supporting of all HBCUs, no matter what. Yeah, we'll get our jabs at Dog Park University, but we still support them as the HBCU they are. So we always want us to flourish, but this ain't good press. So that's already number one. Number two, it's not good press for the amount of money, which makes it worse. So it's like, damn. And then number three, it didn't help that the president of the whole university, I don't even know if he knew about this. Because if you actually ever watched the video, they said, "Oh, we got two gifts for you." He just looks like, "All right, I guess you got two." Like he wasn't vetted on the situation, whatever. So he's holding a check that says 237 million, and of course they played the money and everybody's all smiling. But now with this whole thing, like, you know how in Ninja Turtles, right? Mutant Mayhem, the one that just came out, and how the Turtles always wanted to be accepted by everybody. And then Superfly, shout out to Ice Cube, that you did that shit, right? you played the hell out of Superfly. But you know, like the fact that as soon as they got into the city when Superfly mutated, they saw all the news press about, oh, these mutants are attacking us, or whatever, and they just looked like, but we're good. We want to be good. We're not doing what they do. That's what this feels like. It feels like, damn, something really good just turned really bad really fast. And
oh, yeah, very much so.
It just goes to show, like, y'all got to make sure when it comes to something of this magnitude, you vet and revet and revet and revet. You make sure that you check, cross your T's, dot your I's multiple times, because outside of that, once the news comes out and it's a bad publicity, that sticks for a while. So I'm not going to say that you can never get it, because truth be told, Hampton got some bad press a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
One time in particular, I know the difference is this. Now, I'll make sure I'm clear. This is President William R. Harvey's Hampton at the time, not President Williams. We love
President Williams don't play.
Yeah, he does not. But there was a let me protect the innocent. There was a event that happened off campus in another city that was shut down by police, and because they knew they associated the organization with the school, it made it on the news at like 6 o'clock in the morning. When I tell you, President Harvey literally pulled his money and was like, yeah, y'all not pushing this story anymore. And that story didn't make it to the 9 o'clock news.
Oh, no. It's like, I promise you, what story? That man was Suge Knight, and you can't tell me otherwise. I ain't never seen Suge Knight and Dr. Harvey in the same room.
I mean, listen. I mean, don't get me wrong. We always talk about it. President Harvey, when you want to talk about someone that knows how to monopolize his money, that man cleaned house when it comes to his money. So I'm just saying, like, when it comes to this, just make sure you're very careful, because there's a lot of scams out here and you don't want the bad publicity.
Yeah, it's one of those things, because, couldn't be Hampton, hopefully, prayerfully. Knock on wood, prayerfully. But you know what I'm very prayerful of? Whoever this child's daddy is that got jumped, Mr. Smith, play the clip.
7-year-old girl who had to watch me and my brothers jump her daddy after school. I'm sorry. I know that was probably a traumatizing experience for you, but we kept asking you to stop bullying my daughter and you wouldn't listen. We sent letters home. We even had a meeting with you and your parents and you wouldn't listen. So now you know your actions have consequences. And since you're too young to receive those consequences, you had to watch your daddy take those consequences. Get some therapy. You'll be all right.
So if you didn't catch it, listeners, basically, father of a child basically was like, hey, daughter's being bullied. He tried to go the right course of action, talk to the teacher, talk to the school, talk with the parents, have a meeting with the parents, send letters and stuff on, hey, like, hey, can you chill out? Stop, please leave my daughter alone. All these things happen. You didn't listen. So play stupid games, get stupid products. Now, first and foremost, we here at the Truth and Transparency Podcast do not encourage bullying, jumping, harassment, but ass whoopings that are warranted, I'm gonna just go ahead and grab some water and whatever happens, happens. But yeah, so it's really unfortunate it came to that, but apparently people were asking about, like, why did you jump him and not just shoot him the fair one? Apparently he was like this. Play the clip.
A lot of y'all keep asking why I didn't fight this man one-on-one. And why I got my brothers to jump him in front of his 7-year-old daughter. And the answer is simple. Life is not fair. You get jumped by responsibilities every day. Bullying is not fair because you're picking on somebody that's essentially a weaker vessel and that's smaller than you. So I wanted to make sure she saw what it looked like when a fight is not fair and you don't have no choice but to let somebody jump you. So she could get the concept of what she was doing. Sometimes kids learn from what they see and not what they hear. So I wanted it to be a visual experience, okay? I'm out here doing the Lord's work, okay? God is pleased with me whether or not y'all are.
I mean, he's out of pocket, but he's not wrong? Question mark? This is what your initial thoughts.
So he was good until he said I'm doing the Lord's work. I was like, that's a stretch.
Yeah, but I was like, you reaching a little bit.
Yeah, because the Lord also said turn the other cheek, but at the same time,
he did. He caught him with the one, wah. Hit him with the wah, 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 wah. Another wah, 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 wah.
God, fuck him up.
Exactly. You probably heard that song while it was happening. No, hold on. Slide note. Don't let me ever, Mr. Smith, go get the gun. If you ever see me fighting and you hear a nigga say, wah, 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 dog, fuck him up. Yeah, no. Shoot him. Nigga, I am not winning this fight. You shoot him repeatedly. Now unload the clip. Enough to get him off of me.
Hey, yo. But no, I mean, I gotta give it to him though. I'm not mad at his actions because, like you said, he legitimately tried to take every step to say, hey, my daughter's being bullied. Y'all need to handle this. Y'all need to handle this. Y'all need to handle it. And he even said, like, we even sat down with the child and the child's parents and tried to have a discussion, try to be civil. The child wasn't listening. So obviously the child's not, listening to what's going on. They don't want to hear it. So bet we're gonna give you a visual aid. And to that I say, I hate to be the dad, but damn. Like, dog, I don't know how. First of all, if I'm that parent of the bully, that bully getting their ass whooped that night. Cause nah.
Like, you made me get my ass whooped. Like, I told you to stop. You didn't listen. Now I gotta suffer because you want to be hard-headed. Boy, yeah. I promise you, that child ain't gonna have a door. That child ain't gonna be able to sit down in the seat for a week. That child ain't got no video games. That kid's gonna be on a typewriter.
Damn. I was gonna say at least a leapfrog, but shit.
Yeah, nah. You gonna get me jumped? It's different if I just lost the fair one. Nigga, you got me jumped by multiple people. Yeah, nah. But in all seriousness, man, violence shouldn't be the answer. And as an educator, I teach violence is not the answer. Use your words, try to communicate. I'm in a very unique position where it's like, don't do it, but I'm like, I get it. Mm-hmm. And that's probably one of the hardest things as an educator, where it's like, this kid is pissed off and upset about something. They get mad. They stole off on somebody because someone keeps picking at them. Now I got to go fuss at the kid that hit the kid in the mouth, but that motherfucker deserved it. But yeah. It's really unfortunate that happened, because I know it probably didn't end that way, and I pray that no children and it doesn't escalate in physical harm, because there's not many levels. Like, it's not going to just be like, oh, I just got jumped and then that's the end of it. A nigga's pride is a nigga's pride, and God forbid something else escalates from there.
And I'll say this last thing, because me and Teacher Bay looked at this clip and she said, like you, Brother X, she's a teacher, obviously, so she's in the same boat where she's like, Lord's work, stretch. But I'm also not mad at what's going on. Like, I understand. She's like, the main thing I'm worried about is these kids are not like us. We can shoot the fair one, we can get jumped, whatever, and we just go about it. Next day, it is what it is. Hey, we eat the L. But people these days with their mental state is like, oh, nah, I gotta shoot everything up now. Like, I can't go out like this. It's like, no. And that's the thing that, quick little truth and transparency moment. Like, life is going to give you those things, and you can't just act up the way you want to just because life isn't fair. Because let's be clear, wedding planning is whooping my ass right now. And it is not fair at all. I mean, like, there's a lot of times that I'm gonna be clear with you. I've broken down. Teacher Bay has broken down. We've had our moments. I'm sure Brother X and culture scientists have definitely had their moments.
Oh, nigga. Wine, drinking, bad habits, eating habits, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Listen. And so what he said was clear. You get jumped by responsibilities every day. To be able to do that, and this is my ode to Teacher Bay. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her for real because she's doing wedding planning while trying to finish up school while working full time. That shit is not easy at all. And I've seen it. I've seen her face when she's, you know, just tapped out or checked out or just need a break. We both are at that point, but life definitely ain't fair sometimes. And it's up to us to figure out how you want to matriculate and go through it. Because life ain't always gonna be grand. It ain't always gonna be 90s cartoons and cereal on Saturday mornings. Sometimes it's gonna be those week-long standardized tests.
Dog, don't get me started on that. When I go back to work, I gotta deal with that.
You know,
I ain't never been so. Take your time and read all of the responses. Ain't no way you start a test that has 50 questions you finish in 10 minutes.
oh nah, you just went contra code the entire time. A B C B B D B C C C C.
Dog, that's a whole nother story for another day.
But yeah, overall, just I use these lessons like we had to when we had shows like Family Matters and we had shows like Smart Guy and we had shows like The Fresh Prince, where it's like, yo, yes, this is unfair, this is happening, but this is how you can do it. This is what you can do to try to navigate it and put that in your own way. And in this case, like I said, I'm not mad at him for what he did because he's like, all right, you're bullying my child. My child is smaller than yours. My child has told you to stop doing it. You're still doing it. We then went to the principal. We then went to the school route. We then went to sit down with the parents. You're still doing it. Okay, so let me show you what happens when stuff is not on your side or is not fair. And we're going to see a visual representation. And now remember how you feel. And remember now when you do that, how my child feels. As the good word says, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you. So I'm not fully mad at this man. Just Lord's work. Spit stretch, my guy.
I'm about to say, also, don't admit to the crime on video because they're going to use it.
That's right. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
We ain't have to worry about that because niggas have flip phones and them videos stayed on the flip phones.
Nigga, that shit look like Snake. Look like the original Mortal Kombat characters fighting each other.
Facts. Good times though.
You know what else is interesting that probably should have stayed off video? There is this gentleman. He's I guess now a former teacher at what looks to be either a charter school or a specialty school, where basically the whole situation kicked off because he's on social media. He's live streaming a video of him doing work on his, I presume, his work laptop, where at least 4 or 5 what he would call his besties or his students are helping him to take out his braids. So there was an initial reaction, and I'll give my 2 cents as a teacher in a moment. But basically, there was 2 camps, maybe 3. One where it's like, this is highly inappropriate. Why is he doing this? Why is he having my child's face on social media and all this stuff happening? Then there's the other camp of, dog, I promise you, if you're in education, this is nothing compared to what some teachers have to do to build relationship with the kids to get by. And then maybe the third camp is like, nah, he should be fired. This is what's wrong with education. Like, let that be my daughter. I'm like, first and foremost, if you actually pay attention to who your child's teacher was, you would actually know their name and actually be upset. Because I can guarantee you, probably, if I'm being generous, maybe 30% of parents actually know their child's teacher's name, let alone what the child has been doing in school. And people say, no, I pay attention. I know all the stuff going on with my kid. I'm like, I promise you, you don't. My kid would never do such. They would, and they have. Well, why didn't I ever find out? We called, you didn't answer. We sent a carrier pigeon, you didn't pick up. We sent smoke signals, you blew it out. We sent you an email, you sent it to spam. We tried calling you, you ignored it, put it on block. Please understand me when I say this, parents. If you think you are too involved, that's not enough. In my mind, that is a bare minimum. You should be able to know your child's teachers, and have a relationship with them, be able to communicate with them, to know what's going on with them. Secondly, for those who are in the camp of why has it been on social media? I promise you, you literally can go to any social media platform, whether it be TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm trying to think of another one. I don't know what these kids be doing. Hell, Roblox, whatever the case may be. But there is multiple accounts where there are teachers who are using their experiences and stuff that they go through as a teacher as a form of building up, in some cases, secondary income because, again, listeners, teachers don't get paid enough. So they have to do other things to accumulate money, and some of them go the route of social media. Hell, there are teacher comedians that I follow on this Instagram page called Bored Teachers. And you got to understand, if teachers were paid adequately enough, they wouldn't have to get second jobs. Hell, I had to do that the first maybe 4 or 5 years of me teaching until I got into another position. So I say all that to say, to give my 2 cents, is that it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. A big part of what teaching is nowadays boils down to relationship building, because if a kid doesn't know that you care, they're not going to buy into anything else you're trying to teach. They're not going to try to give you their best. They're not going to want to make you proud and earn your respect. So if you want to, and shout out to my homegirl who's a teacher out in Texas, where it's like, if you want educators to just be educators, then say that. If you want us to build relationships and go and think outside the box to get buy-in from students, allow us to do that. But don't play both sides, because in my opinion, outside of the fact that he posted on social media, which he already had talked to admin, they knew about it, they had all this stuff going on. He had built up a rapport with the students. He apparently had been a substitute teacher for 4 years before he became a full-time science teacher. So he knows the students. He understands the school's policy. The school has obviously known about him for quite some time. So now, because it's blown up on social media, now people are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe they do that. That couldn't be my daughter. Listeners and some parents, your daughter is coming into school with hot Cheeto fingers and eating 4 bags of sweet chili Doritos first thing in the morning at breakfast. You got other fish to fry. But the teacher got fired. Some people are trying to make up reasons. Well, why is he calling the kids Bessie? Why are you in surprise anything? I'm like, I promise you, if we put a camera on teachers as they interacted with students on a given day basis, or you literally just have parents just come in and just tour and watch any given day, not the ones that the principals and admin set up where parents can come in and everybody's on the best behavior. No, just a regular Thursday. I promise you, niggas ain't gonna bat an eye. Mr. Smith, you have any thoughts?
I mean, you definitely emptied the clip on this one, so I mean, stop it, he's already dead. But
Kendrick Lamar did.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. But no, I agree with you. Like the video, like first of all, these children or kids, I'll say, I don't know, but they look like high schoolers, right? So the only issue that I might have with it was the fact that maybe, like you said kind of earlier, he put it on video and put it out to the social media streets. Maybe you could make a save for that, but you got to also remember that it takes a village to raise a child. Not just the parents, not just the family members, but also the educational system that breeds that child, right? You have people that if children don't learn hate or any of these other crazy vitriol aspects of life unless it comes from the village. And so when you have somebody that's legitimately like, hey, if he was an asshole teacher or a teacher that nobody liked, promise you these people wouldn't come up and help undo his hair. So obviously he has a rapport with the students. It's a bonding experience. And it's not like he did this to where he looks crazy throughout the day. It was 10 minutes before the school dismissed for the day, right? And, like he was trying to be professional and make sure, hey, I don't want to take my hair out when there's a camera crew coming, want to look professional, but I still need to get my hair done. And you have students that are like, oh, Mr. Such and such, I'll help you do that. And it's not, it would be different if it was just like one. There's at least 4 to 5 people and 4 to 5 kids in this video that are doing it. And I mean, like, they look like they are enjoying doing it. Let's make that very clear. They are enjoying doing it, which means that they like this teacher, which means that he has their respect, he has their rapport, he has their attention. And as doing so, it's a positive building block for the community. I know we've gotten away from that because of how things are in life these days, where everybody just trying to be like, oh, go to college, oh, get this high-paying job, oh, you just got to be in the rat race. But we need to get back to the values that me, Brother X, Teacher Bay, Queen C, Culture Scientist, grew up in the 90s with, where it's like critical thinking and creativity and being able to understand the bonds that you make. Because there are certain teachers that they stick out for a reason, right? Teacher Bay has, I want to say, at least 3 to 4 families that every time I see them, when like I'm, we're dropping something off for somebody, they run up to her like, oh my God, my kids always talk about you. They love you. They miss you, blah, blah, whatever. They're so sad that they don't get to see you no more because they aged out. And that shows something. Like, that shows that, one, you're proud as a teacher because you got to that student. But two, your work is personified when the parents hear about it and they know. So for this man to have all of this, it's like, but like Brother X said, were you present in the students and your child's like learning situation? Like, do you see the homework? Do you see what they did or what he did for them? Because obviously he must be doing something right if they're all trying to help him take out his hair. Now, a little unsanitary, depending on how you look at it, you can go tit for tat, whatever. But I feel like there's bigger fish to fry than taking out somebody's hair.
Right.
There are still some pedophiles that's in the school system, and that's a whole nother conversation for another day. There are some sick people that are still in the school system, preferably of the Caucasus Mountains, but we're going to worry about this.
Some non-educated, non-licensed, non-having degree people trying to teach.
Well,
don't get me started about Texas. I ain't forgot about y'all.
But yeah, I just feel like it's it's real quick to be like, oh, I don't want my child to do this. But then, like Brother X said, the same focus, you have that same, you go to another teacher saying, okay, so my child needs a little bit more attention because, they have some learning issues. Like, could you, try to work a rapport with them? Which one you want? You can't have both. You can't have both. You either got one or the other. And if it's for the benefit of your child, I would think you would want to do it to a point where it's benefits both you, the child, and the teacher. Because when one wins, then we all win. That's just it.
I mean, you spin, man. But yeah, man, that's just something. And if there's more interest, more information from that show that comes out, we'll follow up in a future episode, maybe. But now, before we go any further, Mr. Smith, I know we don't normally do this, but would you like to say a few words in front of this dead body that we have here? That is one Aubrey Graham, aka BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy, aka Mr. Thicker Than a Snicker.
Yeah, here lies Aubrey Drake Graham. Nigga, he told you stop playing with him. He told you if you might want to sit this one out. He warned you. He warned you several times. You ain't want to listen. And that nigga mutilated you.
Like Cole probably told you, like, hey, now I'm getting myself out of this. I mean, you gonna do what you gonna do. But for me and my household, it don't sit right with my spirit. I'm gonna bow gracefully. But I will tell you, don't talk about this man's family. Don't get personal. And you might make your way out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. That nigga's short. I'm gonna bring up Whitney. Oh, see. You know what? Aubrey. Why you call me Aubrey? My name is Drake. No, Aubrey, listen to me. Look, you. Listen, Linda. Listen. Do not talk about this man's family. What? Man, fuck that. I'm Drake. Man, cut fire on these bitches. All that. Yeah, no. It's just. Listen to this. If you can't tell, we're gonna talk about how the rap beef that we thought we were done talking about the last time we recorded, yeah, shit decided to pop off literally the next day after we recorded. Listeners, I kid you not, it was on Thursday. Yes. Thursday, not at the exact time in the name of the song, but in the morning, where Kendrick, after dropping Euphoria, which I think is the last part that we left off on, he decided to drop 616 in LA. Now, first and foremost, listeners, if you want to get really deep into it, the reason why this has significant meaning is that Drake, when he's trying to get into, Mr. Smith, you would say like his real deep, he's trying to get in his rapper bag, his lyricist bag. He does like a timestamp in a certain city. So that's already the diss on top of that. It's like, dog, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do your shit after I already told you, hey, chill the fuck out. And he came in with the meanest Al Green sample. And when you hear that, and mind you, listeners, this is one out of all the songs that hasn't been put up on streaming platforms because I don't know if Al Green gonna approve that sample. But yeah, he went in, and it's just like I feel like I was eating a pot of collard greens and neck bones while listening to this first diss. Cause like, oh, where do I begin? Because he's talking about so many different things. The biggest thing that came away from that, he was throwing verbal jabs at him. But when he started talking about, are you ready to play? And he talked about, what are you going to do when you find out O-V-HOE, his Drake's record label, is working for him? And that was the big diss that came away from 616 in LA was like, Drake, you putting money into the streets trying to find out information about me, dog. Your whole camp is compromised. Like the niggas that you think is with you ain't with you. They with me. And as it continued, it was just like, all right, bet. And it was like, okay, I'm really gonna put my foot in your neck. You told me to come out and play, dog. I dropped back-to-back records. You ain't responded yet. So before I move any further, do you have any thoughts on 616, Mr. Smith?
So I'm gonna make sure I'm a little clear on this, right?
Okay.
616 actually was that. So we recorded that Wednesday. It got a little quiet because Euphoria had hit. It was okay, cool. And then that Saturday morning, or yeah, I would say, yeah. No, I'm sorry. It was Friday morning. Friday morning was when 616 in LA dropped.
Okay.
And like you said, it's like the beginning, obviously, when you know it's Kendrick, you know everything is calculated, everything is deliberate. And so it's like, okay, we're still trying to figure out what that sound is in the beginning because there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories, whatever. Some of them have some factual evidence. Not going to talk about that.
We're not about to become a certain hip hop personality.
Oh, well, I'm not. I mean, he is. You know what?
No, he got other troubles. He about to get out the paint too. Him and DJ Vlad.
You're right. But yeah, so like when that beat started, that nigga slid, and I'm just like, oh, like
this nigga came in the game shooting from half court.
I was like, Drake, he didn't even take the warm up off yet, and he's the epitome of like LeBron when he was in that first stint in Cleveland, and he used to do a half court shot underhand as a warm up just to like wow the crowd. That's what this nigga did. He literally just did an underhand half court shot, just going, I'm just putting things up. And the sad part was, which we'll get into a little bit, I thought he was like throwing punches. Like Euphoria, I thought he was throwing punches. Turns out he was just throwing jabs. And I just was like, oh, okay. But to your point, the line that sticks out to me is when you said, are you ready to play? Are you ready to play? I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember exactly how he said it. It's slipping me right now. Okay. But he ends up saying, "Are you ready to play? Are you finally ready to play? Have you ever? Let's see. Have you ever thought that O-V-HOE is working for me? Fake bully. I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everyone inside your team is whispering that you deserve it. Can't Tootsie slide up out of this one. It's just gonna resurface." I said, "Oh, you sliding."
Like nigga, you ain't gonna get like no, you ain't gonna run from this ass whooping. Go ahead and get this belt whooping like a man.
And the sad part was, if you go back to TaylorMade Freestyle, which was taken down, but if you know how to search on YouTube, you can find it. Exactly. If you remember, Drake said, You trying to let it die down? Nah. You got to see it through this time. Like, no. He said
Like,
Uno
okay.
reverse.
It's like, okay, this is what you wanted. Yeah. J. Cole in the background, like, I warned you.
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? No, I'm winning. I got this. He ain't got nothing for me. Okay. I'm gonna go out and make some beats real quick.
Then
I'm
the
gonna do a
other
intro real quick.
Then it was in the same part, like literally right after the Tootsie Slide. Every dog gotta have his day. Now live in your purpose. It was fun until you started to put money in the streets, then lost money because they came back with no receipts. I'm sorry that I live a boring life. I love peace, but war ready if the world is ready to see you bleed. My God.
He was like, you tried to find information on me because you didn't have enough bars yourself. Yeah, nah. You gotta hold that. Like one of the lines that I really liked from that they talked about was like, you're playing nerdy with Zach Bia and Twitter bots. Playing on the fact that it's like, dog, there, and we're gonna get to it in a moment because there's one thing that I'm like, dog, that's very clearly a bot or is a bot thing. But it's like, no, I'm going to be surgically like, this is your gameplay. Like, I literally have your playbook. I'm going to read you out what you're going to do, how you do things, and I'm going to tell you more about your business than you even realize. You would think that would have been done. Yeah, no, like in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, Kendrick really in the lead right now. He like I already thought he was winning, but oh yeah, no, he really put his foot on. Drake ain't responded yet. So me being the normal person that I thought I was, Friday night roll around, I go to sleep. I go to sleep at a decent time. I had some crab legs. Like I done hung out with Culture Scientists. Had a nice little time. I've been listening to the music. Have a nice little evening. I wake up Saturday morning. I think it's like maybe like 7 or 8 in the morning. Mr. Smith, what did you post?
So shout out to brother Drewski. Me and him were going ham in the brothers group chat. And Drewski said, yo, Drake just dropped another one. So I immediately went to the song, which was called Family Matters. And if you remember, at the end of Euphoria, Kendrick said, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. Literally, the very first line of Family Matters is Sandra Graham saying, maybe in this song, you shouldn't start by saying Drake immediately goes, nigga, I said it. I know that you mad. I've emptied the clip over friendly jab. You mentioned my seed and I did with his dad. I gotta go bad. And I was like, oh, okay, Drake's not backing down. Okay. And you know, I'm gonna give it to Drake. Like, I didn't have any faith in this nigga at all. But that nigga slid on Family Matters. Like I was just like, oh, you going really well with this, right? And so he ends up saying, say you hate the girls I fuck, but what you really mean, I've been with black and white and everything that's in between. You the black messiah, wifing up a mixed queen and hit vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem on some Bobby shit. I want to know what Whitney need. Oh. I said, okay.
So we saying names, huh?
I said, oh, I think Kendrick already said, don't bring his family into this. I mean, again, your son, he never dropped my name. He just said, I got a son to raise, but you'll know nothing about that. That's it. He ain't bring up no names, nothing. He tried to keep it friendly. This is the second time that you've brought up Whitney on this.
Talking about the day free part, yeah.
Right. So then he said, you did a dirty all your life. You trying to make peace. I heard that one of them little kids might be Dave Freeze. And we was like, oh, that's disrespectful. I mean, you know, like, again, the thing that we're going to say about this, which is the clear part we'll reiterate at the end of this, is stop saying that diss records have to be dancing bops. Right. They do not. Okay. Yes. It's a bonus if it is, because let's be clear, Back to Back was a bop. Hit 'Em Up was a bop. No Vaseline was a bop, but you can't dance to No Vaseline. I mean, you could if you're in the West Coast. And I mean, you could kind of dance to Hit 'Em Up, but I mean,
but yeah. It is. I mean, I guess it could work.
But I mean, at the same time, I don't know how I'm gonna start off with. That's why I fucked your bitch, nigga. Whoa.
So that's immediately fighting words.
Yeah. So then it says, Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Shake that ass for Drake, and then shake that ass for Free, insinuating that Whitney has been dealing with Dave Free, which is like, okay, all right, all right. Then he ended up doing a beat switch, uh, into which he's talked a little bit more about some of the other stuff, which I mean, the only issue that I really had with Family Matters when I listened to it, and granted, I listened to it like a couple times. If Kendrick is the one shooting at you, do not shoot at anybody else because you kind of
Like,
lose.
you don't have enough bullets to take out everything. You're not
Yes.
that good. Like, dog, you can't. Like, you said you were gonna go 1v20, and I'm like, dog, I don't think you really realize. Like, that's the thing that people crazy. Like, dog, it sounds cool to go. Like, yeah, I'll take them all on. I'll go 1v20. Until you really think about it, I'm like, dog, this ain't a movie choreographed fight scene. Niggas ain't gonna play fair and wait to shoot the ones in a 1v20. They gonna come at you at all times. Yeah, you gotta defend yourself, but you ain't got enough bullets to take out all of them.
Mhm.
So you're gonna do that and have the visuals where I'm like, dog, you going into LA, and then you get, which ended up being not even the correct van, but insinuated the van from Good Kid, Mad City, and had it crushed in like a trash dump, or you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But basically did all that stuff, and it was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. Now again, listen to this. I found out about all this. Keep this in mind. I found out about all this after the fact. I'm like, okay, so cool. Drake was spend, okay. And then Mr. Smith, what happened next?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. One thing. So when he slid on the last beat, he said Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone gonna hand him a Grammy right now. Where is your uncle at? Because I want to talk to the man in the house. And I was like, oh, you ain't gotta come on now. Look, he's not the uncle, he's the aunt. Okay, all right. I get it. I mean, hey, all is fair in all is fair in rap beats. A lot of stuff is off the table when especially when you Drake did Whitney. So let's be clear, listeners. When I heard Family Matters, it was probably like, I want to say 10, probably like 11 something at night, right? Okay. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, mind you, I want to walk you a little bit through what was going on at that moment. I am upstairs doing the adulting thing, folding towels in my room. I think Teacher Bay was working on like a little bit of her schoolwork she had to do. I'm upstairs. I just listened to Family Matters. I'm talking to Drew. Literally, I went to refresh my YouTube and it said, Kendrick, meet the Grams. I said, what the fuck? Hold on, wait, hold on.
Like, nigga, he did what?
I said, wait, it's only been 20 minutes. It's like, so I literally just started spamming our group chat. I'm like, nigga, Kendrick just dropped again. And Drew's like, what the hell? What is happening right now? Like, I don't know. So much music. I just felt like one of them cartoon characters in Eve was like, more. It was crazy.
Oh man.
So then Meet the Grams comes on. Listeners, when I said that Kendrick was throwing jabs in the beginning, yeah, that nigga took the gloves off. And literally, I just remember that beat. The first thing I heard, I was like, I'm sitting there. And again, even though Drake, like they said, like Kendrick said in Euphoria, I make music that electrifies, you make music that pacifies. Even though his music can be pacifying at times, I still will give it the respect it deserves to listen in an environment where I can focus on just the lyrics and the beat and not be distracted by anything. So I'm literally folding clothes, doors closed, it's quiet in there. I heard that beat and I said, oh, this is eerie. Like that literally was my first thought. It was eerie. And then the first line was, Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. I said, oh no. Oh, this is not gonna I said, oh, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. And then when you get to the part a little bit down, he says, Hey, you're a good kid that needs good leadership. Let me be your mentor since your daddy don't teach you shit. Never let a man piss on your leg, son. Either you die right there or pop that man in the head, son. Never fall in the escort business. It's bad religion. Please remember, you could be a bitch even if you got bitches. Never code switch whether right or wrong. You are a black man. Even if it don't benefit your goals, do some push-ups, get some discipline. Don't cut them corners like your daddy did. Fuck what Ozempic did. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership. Understand, no throwing rocks or hiding hands, that's law. Don't be ashamed about who you with, that's how we treat your moms. Don't have a kid to hide again, be sure. 5% will comprehend, but 95 is lost. Be proud of who you are, your strength will come from within. A lot of superstars, that's real, but your daddy ain't one of them. And you nothing like him. You'll carry yourself as king. Can't understand me right now? Just play this when you're 18. That was the first verse.
Oh, it's like, cut the music. We're good. No.
Listen,
More.
listeners,
more violence.
Listeners, I paused the song right there. I rewound it and I put it immediately in the group chat. People, I think Kendrick just hit the nuclear launch code button because this is ridiculous. Then he goes into addressing Sandra and Dennis, which are Drake's parents. I mean, he addresses them by name. Sandra caught a couple strays. It was more so for Dennis. So, I can skip over that. That was, I mean, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But at the end of that line, he says, Cat Williams said, get you the truth, so I'm going to get mine. The embassy about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. Hey, LeBron, keep the family away. Hey, Curry, keep the family away. To anybody that embody the love for the kids, keep the family away. They're looking at you too. If you're standing by them, keep the family away. I'm looking to shoot through any pervert that lives. Keep the family safe. And so basically he's drilling down on the notion that Drake is a pedophile and has registered sex offenders at his house. And I'm like, okay. And again, keep in mind, this eerie beat is going the entire time. And it literally, I feel like as I'm listening to it, I'm looking at the Joker take somebody hostage and just do small cuts, just torturing him as he's just laughing. That's what I feel like when I hear this song.
It's real Jeffrey Dahmerish.
It is. Then the third verse starts with, dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. Listeners, my jaw dropped and I said, Drake, if you are hiding another child, you are about to lose massively. You cannot come back.
Nigga, you lost to the same thing? Nigga told you to bob and weave. You kept getting hit in the face.
Like, bruh, it was crazy. Now, granted, there's back and forth conspiracies that Drake does not have a daughter. He put that out there in his camp to figure out who the mole is, so that way Kendrick could take the bait or whatever. So I'm not gonna really go into the whole verse because I'm not sure whatever, but the line that does stick out is but I would like to say it's not your fault that he's hiding another child. Give him grace. That's the reason I made Mr. Morale. So our babies like you can cope later. Give you some confidence to go through something. It's hope later. I never want to hear you chase a man because it's feral behavior. Sitting in the club with sugar daddies and validation. You need to know that love is eternity and trumps all pain. I tell you who your father is. Just play the song when it rains. Yes, he's a hit maker, songwriter, superstar, right? And a fucking deadbeat that should never say more alike. Meet the Grams. I said,
no. Oh, it's like it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, the killer is talking to the family that's tied up. It's like, nah, I'm gonna tell you about your father, and I'm gonna tell you why you are in this predicament. He could have kept this shit cute, but he didn't. So this is what your father does, and what you should have done in life if you ever make it that far. And you know what? Shank, right? And here I thought you were gonna make it.
And then the final verse, he addresses Drake. Says, dear Aubrey, I know you're probably thinking I wanted to crash your party, but truthfully, I don't have a hating bone in my body. This is supposed to be a good exhibition within the game, but you fucked up the moment you called out my family's name. Why you had to stoop so low to discredit some decent people? Guess integrity is lost when the metaphors don't reach you. I was like, ooh. Yeah. And I like to understand because your house was never a home. 37, but you're showing up as a 7-year-old. You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems, bad with money, whorehouse, soliciting women problems, therapies, and lovely slur. But I suggest some ayahuasca, strip the ego from the bottom. I said, damn. But the part that sticks out to me in this whole part, Take that mask. Oh, you embarrassed of them. That's not right. That's not ain't how mama raised us. Take that mask off. I want to see what's under them achievements. Well, I believe you. You never gave us nothing to believe because you lied about religious views. You lied about your surgery. You lied about your accent and your past is all perjury. You lied about your ghostwriters. You lied about your crew members. They all pussy. You lied on them. I know they all got you in them. You lied about your son. You lied about your daughter, huh? You lied about the mother kids that's out there hoping that you come. You lied about the only artist that can offer you some help. Fuck a rap battle. This is a long life battle with yourself.
Emotional damage.
Listeners, we always say that Hit 'Em Up is the best diss record of all time. This right here probably is going to overtake that because this is so calculated and deliberate that it's like the more you keep listening to it, the more it just hurts. Whether it's a body blow, whether it's a right hook, whether it's a left hook, uppercut, this man Kendrick spared no expense. And the sad part was he said, we didn't have to get here. If you didn't mention Whitney, we'd have been fine. But the minute you mentioned Whitney and you mentioned her several times, nope. Just like the father in the previous story about his kid being bullied, oh, I'm about to jump you. And this nigga jumped him. And I distinctly remember listening to that song. Song went off. I literally just sat there. I sat there for like a solid 3 minutes with my jaw just dropped. And I just was just going, I think he's dead.
I think we're done. And listeners, granted, all that happened while I was asleep. I woke up and nigga, my timeline, the social media streets were in shambles. Like playing on that shit. It was like, oh God. Like the memes and everything else that came out from it, phenomenal. Like I'm talking with Nurse Joy and Cousin Simba when we were out and about in Raleigh, and we were just talking about it. And listen, I want you to know, in my mind, I'm like, okay, so Drake will come back with something this evening. He got to. Like even if it's just like out of pride, you gotta say something because it's like, dog, you can't take a 10 count like that and not get back up, at least say something. But you know what Kendrick did? Like, the nigga is so evil, which I'm going to get to the reason why it's so evil. Instead of being like, all right, I'm going to wait for him to respond. It's like, you know what? Y'all niggas been complaining. Oh, he can't drop. I can't dance to this. I can't get in the clubs with these diss records. You know what? Boop, boop, boop. DJ Mustard. You know what time it is. And then drop Not Like Us, which listeners, this shit is running through the streaming streets like gangbusters. It literally broke multiple records of streaming within the span of, as of this recording, maybe about 10 days.
I say give or take.
Give or take like 10, 11 days. And it's, when y'all said y'all wanted to bop, the Drake fans was talking about, oh no, you don't make no music that I can dance to. I'm like, first and foremost, that's not what diss tracks are, but you probably went around before Facebook was a thing. You don't remember when Facebook was only meant for college students. You had to use your college email.
Well,
no, you were back. You probably went around when Instagram was just about singular pictures.
Ooh, ain't no videos.
Ain't no videos, no streaming. Wasn't no TikTok. You probably weren't even around when not TikTok. What is it? Not Snapchat.
Vine?
When Vine was a thing. Like, dog, you probably think, oh yeah, you probably went around even before to run it back, Barack Obama was a president.
Ooh.
So in my mind, I'm like, dog, when he dropped Not Like Us, it gives you all the cultural vibes of the West Coast and specifically like California. And it's just like, well, y'all really y'all wanted a hit. And Kendrick was like, you know what? I know he's not gonna have nothing to say against me. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my victory lap real quick. They not like us. They not like us. Like when he jumps in immediately and just goes in. I'm trying to pull up the lyrics right now. Mr. Smith, what were your initial thoughts about that?
So I'm like the guy, I forgot what TikTok video it was or whatever, but you hear the beat, it said, I see dead people. Muscle on the beat. The guy said, stop. Stops the song. He says, "This nigga got mustard. He's just got mustard on the beat," and just walks off like, "Yep, we don't need to listen no more. We're done. We're done. This nigga wins." And he one, the beat is fire. Two, what's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all, and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass in his body. I'm John Stockton. I'm like, oh, Drake's neighbor is Karl Malone. No, no.
And what is Karl Malone infamously known for? Being
Forget
a
it.
PDF file.
Yeah, for getting a 12-year-old pregnant.
I want to back up real quick. But yeah, it was like, first and foremost, you ever let somebody call you a jabroni? Nigga, that's somebody who's grown up watching wrestling.
Facts. Big facts.
And then Kendrick, not even right after the beat continued, literally said, "Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God's watching." He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and then I'm gonna beat your ass with the Bible, and I'm gonna hide it so God don't know it's me." That's how bad of an ass whooping I'm gonna give you. Then it continues. It's like he said, "Oh yeah, go ahead."
No, I was going to get you said. Sometimes you gotta pop out, show niggas. Certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up the score with him. Walk him down whole time. I know he got some hole on him. Hole on him. Extort shit, bully, death row on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better never go to cell block 1. To any bitch I talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from. They tell me Chubb's the only one that got your hand-me-downs. The party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case while he around. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. What? Don't fucking love. I was like, oh my God.
Like, there's so many quotables. It's like, I've heard so many people talk about, like, Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? It's like, why is this weird nigga around? Don't he need to be in court? It's like almost like the Nicki Minaj her husband effect. It's like, why is this nigga around anyone that has a young daughter?
Well, but I'm gonna finish off because this is the first real one. Wop, that fucking love. Wop. I'm gonna do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired trying to strike a chord? And it's probably A minor. I paused it right there and said, Kendrick, he's dead. He's already dead. You don't need to keep firing at this man. This is the epitome of Boys in the Hood, where they said, you want to see a dead body? And I feel like you're just like, oh, let me put a stick at him and see if he's dead. You didn't pull a stick. You just said, double tap. Shout out to Zombieland. Triple tap. Just do some more. Like, God damn.
No. This nigga sea-walked all over this man's body.
Facts. Big facts. So,
and listeners, I need you to understand, if you don't know by now, that's literally just the first verse. Then the chorus comes in banging where it's like, they not like us. And then he hops into verse 2 and he literally tells him in like the second line where it's like, well, let me go back. It says, you think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pot, nigga? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop, nigga. He was like, hey, you keep disrespecting Pot, you better not come to Oakland. This is gonna be your last show. Talking about dig cold foul. I don't know why you still pretending. What is it out for? Bird niggas and bird bitches go. The artist's not done. Shape the stories how you want. Hey Drake, they're not slow. Rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further. I promise. Ain't that something? B-Rad stands for bitch, and you Malibu's most wanted. And I'm like, this nigga got the most obtuse references. Like, dog, I ain't thought about Malibu's most wanted in I don't know how long.
It's been at least 5 or so years since I thought about that movie. Well, I'll say no, because me and Teacher Bay did watch it maybe like a year or so ago, but still, that is, like you said, such an obtuse reference that if you were in the streets, you don't, like, that's a slept-on movie. That shit is funny.
Oh, man. Like, Tay Diggs and Oh Boy, when they were pretending to be gangsters.
I'm sorry. My line. Now, Bloodbath, I gotta cut him. Nah, don't cut him. Nah, I gotta cut him. Oh, don't cut. Okay, just the white meat. I gotta cut him. But the fact that sidebar. The fact that this nigga went to B-Rad from Malibu's Most Wanted, went to rob a jewelry store, and the only reason he got out of it was because he had an emergency stash in his sock to pay for the drinks. Oh my God, that movie was slept on.
Hilarious. But yeah, like had James Kennedy was like, dog, He was like, dog, why am I catching strays?
Yeah. But no, back to the song. What OVO for? The other vaginal option. Pussy niggas better straighten their posture. Got famous all up in Compton. Might write this for the doctor. Tell the pop star quit hiding. Fuck a caption. One action, no accent. And I'm hands on. He fuck around, get polished. Fucked on Wayne's girl while he was in jail. That's conniving. Then get his face tatted like a bitch apologizing. I said, oh, damn.
It's like, oh, like Lil Wayne, you don't take the disrespect.
Jeez. Then he made sure he defended the Serena. Made sure to continue on. And listeners, let me be clear. The album artwork or the song artwork is Drake's estate on a sex offender predator registry with multiple dots on it. I'm like, this nigga's so calculated. Oh my God. Yeah, how many stocks do I really have in stock? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. A devil is a lie. He's a 69 god. Freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside. Roll their ass up like a fresh pack of za. City is back up. It's a must be outside. Now listen, Kendrick, I don't think you realize you pretty much just made the day party brunch song of the summer right there.
Oh yeah, no. It's already blown up these streets. Like it has been doing numbers at day parties.
I like
hell, weddings. Hell, NBA.
Oh, that's right. It was on the NBA
It
during
was
the playoffs. And when we heard it, we said, oh no. Yeah, Drake,
like,
you lost.
You lost the internet. You definitely lost.
But yeah, so he got that. And in that last verse, this man, I'm sorry, listeners, this pretty much lets us know that Kendrick won. Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still doubled down, calling us some slaves. Atlanta was the mecca building railroads and trains. Bear with me for a second. Let me put y'all on game. The settlers was using townfolk to make them richer. Fast forward 2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you. This the real nigga challenge. You called Future when you didn't see the club. Hey, what little baby helped you get your lingo up? What 21 gave you false street cred? Thug made you feel like a slime in your head. Quavo said you can be from North Side. 2 Chainz said you good, but he lied. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague. You a fucking colonizer. The family matter and the truth of the matter. It was God planning to show y'all you're the liar. Listeners, do y'all realize this man made the song after he heard Family Matters? And made it in 24 hours. And dropped it, and it's a hit, which means one, Drake probably does have a mole in his camp that already leaked the song prior to, so Kendrick already knew what to say. But right. 2, nigga, he just, as Brother X said, he literally broke down the game plan. Like, this is the water boy, and the opponent has a special secret playbook. And he's like, okay, so he's going to run 23 wide deep post. I'm gonna go ahead and put a dime prevent defense on there, and then slide the safety. Nigga, Drake. I knew I said that I didn't have faith in you, and you did come in clean. But again, this is different from Pusha T, from Meek Mill, from anybody you've had beef with. We keep telling you, you don't want to mess with Kendrick, and you didn't listen. And when I tell you this man broke you down in sections, I feel like I'm watching an anime fight, and they're doing pressure points, or better yet, Kill Bill, and she did the 5-point exploding palm technique. That's literally what this feels like.
Yeah.
So, but I know me and Teacher Bay, we're going to have our moments after she's out of classes and we have a time to breathe. We told ourselves that part of it was we were going to incorporate more days, brunch days, like, just to try to get ourselves back in the spirits. And I can imagine myself getting my French toast, because I am a French toast connoisseur, with my syrup and my mimosa and some scrambled eggs and cheese and some bacon and some home fries. And I'm hearing freaky ass nigga, he a 69 guy. Freaky ass nigga, he a 69 guy.
Stay your ass aside.
I can just imagine me just in mid-shoot talking about something, and it's only A minor. Like, damn.
Like, nigga, you have lost a battle when a nigga made a song about you being a pedophile and got niggas singing it like it's a regular club hit.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's just one of those things where it's like, dog, I've seen so many memes, and I think that's what makes it so much bigger. Is like, dog, it kept going and going, and we're like, all right, this is it's gonna die down. Nigga, it's been almost 2 weeks. That shit is still booming, and it's not going away anytime soon. And once the internet got a hold of it, it was a wrap. So in my mind, when that happened on Saturday evening, I'm like, okay. So Drake, at this point, either Drake don't respond and be like, all right, I lost, and just concede, and like, I'm just gonna go away and just kind of let it die down, or he gonna say something. But there's nothing at this point he can say that's gonna win him the fight. And then he proceeds to drop on Sunday evening, and I'm like chilling. I told the coach scientist, Drake responded. And then when I heard it, I'm like, he didn't respond. He said some words and then kind of went home. So the hard part 6, which this is how you know it's getting bad, that it seems, at least optics say, that Drake was trying to pull what Kendrick did to him early in the battle with 616 in LA by dropping the hard part 6, which is like Kendrick's way of like dropping what's on his mind, as Mr. Smith has shared with me before we discussed it. Was like he trying to share his thoughts. Like he's already had the part 1 through 5, and it's like usually right before he drops an album. So when Drake did that, I'm like, first and foremost, you have my attention. That's a big claim. Like you trying to step on one of his big things, tell people what's on his mind, and then you came up with this defense, which, granted, I am biased because I'm very inclined to believe that there is an actual mole and that there is some truth to some of what's being said. But you try to say, oh, we fed you all this information. Like, dude, like I'm a war general. Like I got all this plan. It was like, but sir, if you really plan all this stuff, why are you dropping information about you being a pedophile and all the people you work with are pedophiles? And you thought that was going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to really get them when I respond back. I'm like, if you really had that information, you should have been responding after Meet the Grams. Not waiting until Not Like Us came out, because at that point, Kendrick already took his victory lap. You don't already have the 10 count. Yep. Like, nigga, you got knocked out. You got TK'd.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. That wasn't even a 10 count. That nigga got knocked out the ring.
Oh, yeah. He got punched and he flew out the ring. Looking like Martin after he got in that boxing match.
Thank you. I was getting ready to say he looked like Martin talking about some Gina, I love you.
And then had the nerve to talk about, oh, there's some nice exercise. I would respond if all of a sudden you weren't trying to harp on the same thing over and over again. I'm like, no. Don't run now and say, nah, I would respond. This is like real thing to respond to. I'm like, really? You gonna really like little brother, like son Kendrick after he done whooped your ass for like the last 72 hours? Nah. Go ahead and take this ass whooping like a man. Like, you better stand in, wait until they call the fight. You better stand in that ring and watch Kendrick's hand get raised.
So I laugh because the line that sticks out to me out of this whole song was, my mom came over today and I was like, mother, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Fuck me. I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. Say that 5 times fast. They're acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. And I'm going, you didn't listen to the song, Drake, because
you really didn't.
The point was, they thought he was molested, but he wasn't. He never was. He kept saying that he wasn't, and they didn't believe him. Not that he got molested. So, and you know it's bad when I don't remember what school it is, but I think it was Harvard. When a Harvard professor is breaking down a lyric and is like, yeah, this is why you need to do critical thinking and research skills, people, because if you listen to this song, this is what it means, this is what it said. When you have people in colleges breaking down your music and it's telling you, no, yeah, you lost. But overall, in the song, he sounded defeated.
He really
he sounded defeated.
I want to go home. I done got my ass whooped. I got embarrassed in front of my friends. I done lost on the internet. Like, I'm about to say, you can go ahead and drop all the other diss tracks. I'm like, dog, don't do that. Don't be like, oh, yeah, I know you got more raps. I'm like, dog, the nigga fight back. If you this big bad person, it's different when J. Cole's like, yeah, man, I'm going to bow gracefully. J. Cole was like, nope, this ain't my fight. I'm not in it. I'm a lead. He took his lumps and was like, nah, he's chilling on the beach somewhere. Like, dog, I ain't got no enemies.
Yeah, I'm still laughing, like you said, that outro where he said, "I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like it's good to get out, get the pen working. You would be a worthy competitor if I was really a predator, and you weren't fucking lying to every blogger and editor. But it is what it is. You definitely got this shit burnt the fuck out though. Like you got 10 more records to drop. I'm like, but Drake, you you pushed him.
Like
We told you."
you pushed the button. He like you shot him. He put out the RPG.
Yeah. So needless to say, I at that point, I mean, granted, I had already said at Meet the Grams, shit was over. Hell, I said at Euphoria, the shit was over. But Meet the Grams, I was like, oh, there's no coming back from this. This is worse than Hit 'Em Up. And dare I say, and granted, I'm gonna be clear, I'm not trying to succumb to recency bias, but this might be worse than Ether. And that's a strong take. And I know it's a strong take, but
That
this
is
might.
that is some big words, man. That's some
Yeah,
big words.
but I'm just saying, like, exactly how we were with Ether to where Jay-Z couldn't respond back. That's how I feel about Beat the Grams. And it's because it's so calculated like Nas's was. It's like, oh, okay.
Like
So
you just know that something's different about this one than other ones. You know?
oh, absolutely. Because like you said, 16 in LA is something I could ride to. Like
Oh, very much.
I feel like me and Teacher Bay could be like in my car, windows down, sunroof, summer night, 80 something degrees outside or 78 degrees outside, vibing and just bopping 616 LA. Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams has a replay value. But bruh, you got to be on demon time on that song. But not like us. Listen, Drake, you did it with back to back. Kendrick beat you at your own game, my nigga. And last but not
He hit a
least,
3-piece on him.
that wasn't a three-piece.
I mean,
That
a
was
three-peat.
yeah, that was a three-peat, and that was a 8-piece spicy.
Oh yeah, no, hit him with like he literally hit you with like 3 Popeyes biscuits, no bev.
No, I feel like this is a throwback. I feel like it's uh Killer Instinct and that ultra combo at the end. That's what Drake did. Drake did the ultra combo at the end. But I'm gonna end off with shout out to Metro Boomin because
He
this
made the perfect outro to this beat. It's like, oh, you told me to go make go make some drums. It's like, what you don't know is, nigga, you thought Kendrick was the villain, nigga. I'm the hidden boss. Like I'm gonna kick your carcass as you get dragged away. Then drop BBL Drizzy.
and you know it's bad when other countries and other nationalities and other languages are taking that and flipping it into their own culture. Drake, I am sorry. You got whooped. And it's not even close. And granted, I will give you my respect because your penmanship slash ghostwriters on Family Matters, as well as push-ups and I will say your last because as I listen more to Taylor Made Freestyle, I agree with a lot of people. I really didn't like the AI stuff, but your last verse on Taylor Made Freestyle was really good. So I will give you credit. You've earned my respect. Like when you break your pen out and you're really serious, yeah. But Kendrick was very tactful because he knew if he let Family Matters slide a little bit, he might have lost momentum. When that nigga took your momentum in 20 minutes,
Exactly.
this is, and I hate to say this because it still hurts, even though it's long gone now,
Go ahead,
but
let it out. Let it out.
it's the Atlanta Falcons Tom Brady all over again. 23, Tom Brady said, say less. Let me go ahead and sit up in
Like,
the
okay,
chair.
I'm gonna sit up in the chair real quick.
And you're like, oh, we think we got it. We think we got it. And Tom was like, no, again, no, again, no, again, touchdown. But God damn it. So yeah, I hate that you got beat up like this. I am very grateful for the culture of the amount of music that I have because I'm gonna be clear with you listeners. My workout playlist at the end of my playlist goes like that, push-ups, Euphoria, I can't get 616 in LA because it's on streaming platforms. Family Matters, Meet the Grams, not like us. Literally, that's my and when I tell you I'd be throwing 135 pounds, 150 pounds like it's nothing. Listening to them songs in order. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really runs off well. And I would agree with your rankings. And listen, I know we talked about this quite a bit, and I know we said the first time it was the last time, and then the second time we said it was the last time. Listeners, to our knowledge, as of recording on May 15, 2024, the beef is over.
Yes.
We don't know nothing else. We tried to leave it alone, but these niggas wanted to go hammer time on a Friday night. So we're just going to leave it at that. First and foremost, our transparent moment is leave Whitney. Leave Kendrick family alone.
Shit. Leave the boogeyman alone. Leave the boogeyman alone.
Leave that nigga alone. Let that nigga go do calisthenics in full outfit, a full Dickie suit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, just leave shit alone and understand anybody can get God. Anybody can get it. You are never that good that you are going to go undefeated. I don't know. There's very few people who will be able to get Kendrick right now, but everybody can get God at some point. Ain't nobody in purposes from getting beat down. Hell, talk to that dad who got jumped for his daughter. But please, just know when enough is enough and to be able to bow gracefully. Word to J. Cole. J. Cole was right. He did nothing wrong. Shirts on the way. But yeah, man. We're just going to go ahead and going to close out this episode this evening. Thank you. Close out this episode. Let me speak correctly. If you got any thoughts, you want to share any opinions, or you want to hit us up with information that we might have missed, or you have your uneducated opinions thinking that Drake won, you can always hit us up on our social media at the TMT Pod 123 on Twitter, Truth and Transparency Pod on Instagram, Truth and Transparency Pod on TikTok, however long that is. At the time of this recording, the Truth and Transparency Podcast on Facebook, and the Truth and Transparency Podcast on YouTube. And if you ever want to hit us up with topics, information, things that you want to discuss with us, you can always email us at truthandtransparencypod123@gmail.com. For Mr. Smith, for myself, for the culture scientist, for Drake's dead body. If this podcast gets no bigger than what it is right now, our friends are forever grateful, our supporters are forever grateful, and the more the words of my father, eat the elephant one bite at a time. Peace.
We outside this summer streaming, BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy. And then we're going to transition to, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us.
69 nigga, he a pretty ass guy.
They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck 'em up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.